All right, boys, we're back. We are back. We are going to finish this debate between Glenn Beck and Linda, some lady that just called into his show. This has been such a good debate, man. I really have just enjoyed this. It's been fun to watch, and it's almost not. Man, this is like to me, it's almost like it's just an interview. It's almost like it's a discussion, like something you would see on Joe Rogan, right? Where it's just literally like they're throwing ideas around, and they're like, "Well, I think this because of this," and "Oh, I think this because," and they're like, "Okay, well, why do you think?" It's just. I mean, it's been so just refreshing to see something like this, because debates now, bro, they're so freaking. It's like dealing with. It's just like listening to little kids, man. And they're throwing insults in there and sound bites and screaming, and it's so nice to not see that, So, anyways, man, let's get through this. Let's do it. By the way, I'm gonna try not to pause it as much. Just so we can get through it, because I don't want to make a third one. So I'm gonna let it play a little bit, and then I'll add, obviously, I'll add some commentary and stuff. But I'm gonna try to let it play a little bit more than I did the second one. But sorry, real quick, I'm saying that I haven't started it yet. This second half. So the first half, I felt like he just dealt with the Israel problem, right? That this is Israel's war that United States is involved in, right? And so he was kind of like justifying, or not really justifying, but explaining Israel's perspective on why they wanted this war and why this war was a good thing for Israel. Okay. Well, the biggest question is, well, then why the hell are we there, right? What the fuck does that have to do with anything with us other than Israel as our ally? But okay, but there's more to it than people understand. And I think this part of the interview, and I could be wrong, I don't know, but this part of the interview, I feel like he's going to explain why Donald Trump made the choice to finally defeat Iran and get us involved in this war. So let's get to it, man.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me just recap for the audience. We started talking about the war, and you voted for Donald Trump 3 times, and you've been with him the whole time, but he promised not to get into wars, and you say he was bamboozled by Israel. Correct me if I have any of this wrong. He was bamboozled by Israel, got us into this. We decided that if your problem is with Israel lying to us, then your real problem is not with Israel, because just like our State Department, we're going to say or do whatever is in our nation's best interest to get people involved in our stuff. Your real problem is the decision makers, either those who are around Donald Trump or Donald Trump himself, and he has the responsibility of all those people around him. He hired them. So the real problem is
true. I'm sorry, man. That's my job. That is true, because I'm not going to lie. I do really feel that, like, Donald Trump is being held to a standard that no other fucking president we have ever had before has been held to. I mean, Donald Trump is constantly facing so much scrutiny and so much backlash no matter what he does. Again, we talk about the ceasefire. People want ceasefire because he's a psychomaniac. Then when they get the ceasefire, they're talking shit how he's a fucking coward, a pussy.
Donald Trump, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so I asked you right before we went to break, I said, so is this a war that is America first? And you said a couple of things, and I want to go into both of these. We don't need the oil, so there's that. And but let's be honest, this will be an endless war, and our men and women, our boys, will come back in a box. And we separate those two things and talk about each of them. First, let me start with the last part. You don't know that, nor can I tell you honestly, it won't end that way. But why do you jump there when you don't know? Why go to the worst possible scenario?
That our men and women would come back
in a box.
Injured, injured or dead.
But an endless war. What?
Because
I feel like every war that we do in the Middle East ends up just a long and drawn out war.
Correct. I agree with you.
You know,
Now,
then-
I mean, that's a very honest conclusion to draw from. I don't think she was trying to be any, facetious or anything like that, because you look at what we've done in the Middle East already, bro. And like the withdrawal in Afghanistan and how embarrassing that shit was. Like, obviously, because that's what I'm thinking. You just think of escalation and you think of, well, what's the worst escalation that can happen? Oh, we could send our boys over there and to get killed over something that does not benefit us, right? This is what most people are thinking. And me too, to that point too. I had a father that was deployed 4 times overseas in the Middle East fighting. Like, he wasn't going to fucking Germany. Like, he was deployed. So I feel her. I understand where she's coming from. That totally. Because it's happened before in our lifetime. So.
have you seen the way he's fighting it compared to the way we fought them
Very
before?
true.
That the
That's a
strategy
good
is
point. Very true.
not to break, not to regime change, not to kill everybody and blow up everything, but to leave the regime in place, which we have never done ever before in these foreign wars over in the Middle East. Does that make any difference to you?
It should.
That it's a totally different
It
strategy?
should.
you're talking about we're doing like a war of attrition.
Yes, and we're not.
Yeah.
We are not going in and saying we're gonna give you democracy. We're not doing that. Where we did that in every country we've ever fought in.
I absolutely. Glenn, I think what's different today versus even 4 years ago
Yeah.
is everyone is their own reporter. We all have this great iPhone. And
Right.
no, seriously though.
I know. No, I'm with you.
And everything is so real time. And I think that the powers that be, whether it is government,
I really like
it
this
is
girl.
monarchies,
She's smart.
they're losing the control
Yes.
of the narrative.
Yes.
That's
And
a bar. Everybody's their own
people
reporter.
are,
I hadn't thought about it
I
like
have
that.
this standing joke, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm a conspiracy realist. Because if it's a theory in January and it comes true in June,
Yeah.
then, I just haven't figured out the lottery numbers.
Right. There's a
Common sense.
difference.
Whoa,
But there's a
who
difference
has
between
this
theories and fact. You can start as a conspiracy theory. The 9 or 10 or 11 missing people now are dead people with military, that are working on space stuff. That's a conspiracy theory right now. It may turn out to be conspiracy fact, but right now it's just a theory. And that doesn't make it a bad thing.
That stuff's
It just
wild.
you need to
We'll have
categorize
to go
it
into that
as
stuff too,
it's
man. That
a
stuff is
theory.
crazy.
And not go all in and put all your chips on the table and say, and you're a traitor if you don't believe it. No, let's play this out. Let's follow the facts. It's going to take time, but you in the end may be right. Correct?
Yeah, what was interesting about that story is...
Well, let's not get back.
I forget his-
Sorry.
No,
Quickly.
honestly, it was Ducey from, it was The Sun. I know there's 2 on Fox, and he mentioned it
Right.
during, during a
Press conference.
briefing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's the one who really put light to it.
Right. So I don't
Do
want to get
think
bogged
our
down in.
government knew about it.
I don't want to get bogged down in all that. I was just saying that we all
Stay on
need to
topic.
slow down,
Come
and
on,
that's
man.
why I started with.
on topic.
You say this is an endless war. You said let's face the facts, or let's be real. We all know it's going. I don't know that. I know that Donald Trump hates war. He really is terrified of nuclear war. It's the only thing I've seen him be afraid of. And I know he's doing everything. Now, it might, because we're dealing with crazy people, it might turn into that. But we don't know that yet. And I was just wondering if you could say, I believe that it's...
Maybe when he says that Donald Trump is afraid of nukes, maybe he's not talking about, and again, I just have to say maybe because I'm not like sitting in front of her actually having dialogue with him. Maybe he's not talking about like the nuclear weapons, but he's like worried about Iran obtaining nuclear power and them using it. Because to be fair, okay, which is like, oh, well, that's convenient. Well, to be fair, they are a country that chants death to America. They call us Big Satan and Israel Little Satan, okay? And they also say that they love to die. Like, that's their favorite thing in the world, bro, is to blow themselves up. that's probably not somebody that U.S. wants to have nuclear powers. If you put all those things in order, that's a very scary idea. So I think I'm starting to put together, which I don't know, maybe you're like, bro, you're a fucking retard. How did you not put that together? I don't know, whatever. I don't know. We're figuring it out, though. Maybe that's what he's saying when he says that Donald Trump is terrified of nukes, is that he's, yeah, anyways, all right.
A high probability that it will turn into that based on everything in the past. However, caveat, Donald Trump has shown no indications that he likes or fights wars the way George Bush or Barack Obama or Joe Biden or anybody else has fought wars. Can you go that far?
Joe Biden fight?
Well, I'll say this, we're not dealing with regular government in regards to Iran, but you have to admit Donald Trump's truths or whatever whatever you want to call them, during Easter were so
that was
horrible,
awful.
Yeah, horrible.
They were
that
horrible.
was a big L. That was a big, and I've said that since day one. That was a big fucking L, Donald Trump. That and the Jesus picture, bro. What are you doing? Do you want people to hate you? Like, on fucking Easter too? Come on, man. You know this is a Christian country. Like, what are you doing? That's crazy.
Horrible.
So when we are laying this argument that Iran is crazy and this, he was talking about like blowing them up. I mean,
right.
What?
So,
and that's when
you missed a monologue that I did. Remember, the president speaks not just to the American people. He doesn't speak to the people of the world. Sometimes he sends messages through the world to very specific people. That message was very specific. Oh, you think you're crazy? You think I'm afraid of you? You have no idea. I'm bat-crat crazy. He's not crazy. He is not crazy. But sometimes when you're dealing with a crazy enemy, you need to have your eye twitch too. So they go, good God, would he do it? Now, I'm not saying that's going to work because they want to wash the world in blood.
I think that is what he's doing.
Donald Trump did not mean that, and you've seen that. He was sending a message. You have to understand the president. He does a lot of things on Twitter that I absolutely hate that are just crazy. Okay, he shouldn't do it. But that one in particular, I really don't like. I thought it was really bad. However, I give it with this caveat. It may have been directed right to the people he was trying to drive to the table 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trying to keep everything compartmentalized instead of drifting all over into many different things at once. Let's just talk about, is this America first? And you said Donald Trump keeps saying we don't even need the oil. So why are we there? What do you mean by that?
Well, that's what we've been told.
Yeah.
However, when we were on break, and I don't know if it was Jason or who, they were like talking about political points, and apparently America is now exporting close to 13 million barrels of oil a day.
Yes, it's the largest exporting we've ever done.
Making that money, boy.
Well, that could right there be your reasoning for justifying the war.
Is that a bad thing? I'm not saying justifying the war for oil or money, but is it a bad thing that we are now the world's largest exporter? That goes to the America First question.
Right.
Got her.
Oh, goodness. This is like...
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. Because,
yeah, it is.
As far as America First, no, that is America First.
Yes.
I never want to see another person. When I look at wars, it's the common person who is hurt the most.
So
the people at the top, they're in safety somewhere. But I look at these regular people. I would be, if there was a war, a domestic war here, I would be that regular person.
I know.
That would be hit the hardest.
I know.
The people at the top.
So let me help you. Let me help you just think in this way and see if this makes any sense to you. Because I hate the idea of war for oil. It's absolutely immoral. It's immoral. However, let's look at America first. If we are going to survive the $40 trillion in debt, if we're going to survive into the next century with AI and everything else, we need primarily the things that we need. We need to lead in energy, and that's all energy. If we are beholden to anyone on energy, we are in trouble. If others even compete with us, we lose leverage. Same thing with AI. We must lead in AI, which means we have to have rare earth minerals wherever they are, and we must control them. The world has to come to us for those things. We also have to rebuild our infrastructure. We have to build factories and plants and be able to make our own chips and everything else. So if that chain begins with AI, rare minerals, manufacturing, they all really rely on energy. So that's why Drill Baby Drill was so important. And that is to make us energy independent. The problem is, and this is not Donald Trump's fault, this is the fault of the left. And I don't know how to solve this one. I don't think this could ever be solved unless America just says, shut up to all of the people on the left that are all about, ending oil. The oil that we get, we have plenty of natural gas, LP, all this stuff. We have plenty of that. And that can be used here in America. But when it comes to gasoline and oil, we pull out of the ground something is called light sweet crude. It's really easy to process. The stuff we get from Saudi Arabia, even Venezuela, is very dirty. We get light sweet crude here. But we have not made a new refinery in America since, I think, 1973. You can't build them anymore. And none of them are geared for light sweet crude. So we take and we sell all of the oil, most of the oil that we are drilling and getting out of the ground. We have to sell that to other countries. We can't use it here because we can't refine it. So we have to sell that, which means when the president says we don't need the oil, well, until we build refineries, yes, we do. We have to trade our oil for the crap we get out of Saudi Arabia and the rest of the world. Now, we're getting less of it from Saudi Arabia. We'll get more of it from Venezuela in our own hemisphere, which causes the price to go down and the control and the danger and everything else. So what the plan was is, A, if you want to be America first, you have to control energy. But also, where was the rest of the world buying their energy? Europe was buying it from Russia and Saudi Arabia. China was buying it from the Straits of Hormuz. You have all of this oil. Nobody's coming to us. And China had put together BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, BRICS. And their plan, all during the administration for Biden, was to come up with a new currency that could buy oil. The reason why the dollar is the king around the world is OPEC says you can only buy it through using U.S. currency. The minute that's over, we are Haiti. We crash and we have no money.
Dude,
no
I'm
money.
telling you,
It's
man.
worthless. Okay?
It'll be bad.
So you have to break the back of BRICS, which is why he just took Venezuela off of the board. It's why he just took the Panama Canal, so they can't get the ships out. They got to go all the way around if they wanted to buy it. He's breaking the back of BRICS and China on oil and rare earth minerals. So it is America first if we can break the backs. It's not.
Beautifully put. I couldn't have said it. I couldn't said it better if I wanted to. That was beautiful. Exactly. I mean, just beautiful.
Not true that we don't need the oil because we can't build refineries here. If we have to, we should come up with maybe Venezuela. I hate doing this, but we should say, will you build all of our sweet oil refineries there so we can have cheaper gas? It'd be cheaper if we built them here, but it'll take you 30 years and no one will invest in it because no one believes that you can get something built here in 15 or 20 or even 30 years with having the administration and all the laws remain the same. So that's why this oil thing is important, because it's not about gas prices and it's not about making, a company rich. It's about the long term being able to have America lead the world. Does that make sense to you?
100%.
Absolutely.
That's
And
beautiful.
I'm so glad that you're bringing up the things that you are, because I wanted to bring it up, but I didn't know if it would be quite appropriate.
Sure.
In regards to exporting oil. Wasn't it last year Saudi Arabia dropped the petrodollar or did not recontract the petrodollar?
I remember reading something like that. I don't think that they did that, but
I didn't read it. I've heard people say that. I've actually never looked into it, but I don't know why that would be. They're like our biggest allies over in the Middle East, other than Israel, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. But I have heard people say that.
they were toying with it with China, which makes that extraordinarily dangerous.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm glad.
Saudi Arabia, I'm pretty sure, was our adversaries for a long time. Like, it's only like here recently that they've been like pro-West. So, I mean, I guess that would make sense. I'm sure they're not thinking about it now. I fucking would hope not. The fuck?
This is such an honest conversation and topics that
This is
really
good,
are not
man.
being
This is a
touched
good
by
conversation.
anybody. But that is what it boils down to. It's almost as though like we have to our money isn't backed up by anything anymore. It went from gold to the petrol, and now that's in question.
Correct.
And we have to wash our money with something.
Right. So,
and I hate to say this, but is it being washed by war? War makes money. When I'm hearing these stock markets going up,
it is backed by, yes, that has something to do with stock markets going up because we have to rebuild everything else. But that's not what
oil.
Again, separate things. If Donald Trump is a man of his word, and I believe he is, that he hates war, he doesn't want endless, but he's trying to do America first. He must control the energy and also make sure that no one can collapse our dollar from the petrodollar. So that makes this essential to be able to save America and the American system. If we don't do that, we're out. We're out. So there are all kinds of ramifications, good and bad, on this. But if you can focus on, is this in our national interest to make sure the petrodollar is controlled? And even if OPEC would finally go away, we'd have so much oil here that the rest of the world would have to buy that the petrodollar would remain for at least half the world. Doesn't that make this a justifiable idea, at least?
It's a beautiful idea. It's a perfect idea.
So,
I mean,
so then why do you say you're against the president on this idea?
So when you lay it out in that sense, yes, I am for it. But when I look,
See, I know. I want you to know that you're not alone. I went through this for.
You have war involved, and it is hard. I understand. I mean, and again, I'm obviously pro America, and Trump is doing. He's got a lot. He's getting a lot of W's. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it is hard. It's that's why I think these debates are so good.
Days I went back and forth on this because it's ugly. It's hard. It's hard, and most people don't. They won't do it. They won't do this hard thinking. But you gotta make a choice.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That was a fun I say interview. It was almost like an interview, but it was a debate. I mean, that was beautiful, man. I enjoyed it. Glenn Beck, I am really liking this dude. I mean, he's a solid guy. He seems very rational. When people push back on Trump or have objections of Trump, he said, "Hey, I understand what you're saying. I get it." And I mean, there's times where he couldn't defend Trump, and he didn't care. People again, I mean, they label him as a pro-Trump, MAGA dick rider. I mean, all the slurs they can think of Israel shield, a cuck for Israel, a cuck for Trump. I don't see that. I mean, he seems pretty rational. I think if you can look back, or if you can look past all the propaganda, you can actually see that Donald Trump is making some real moves, and it's going to lock in the U.S. if he can pull it all off as the world power, I truly believe, for the next 250 years. I mean, this is great, man. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you sticking it through. I know this was a long one. You know, you had the first one and then this one, the part 2. But I appreciate it, man, and this was fun. So I hope you guys had a good time too. So, all right, peace.